Let's go over a brief overview of finding great workers. Now, the first thing you have to realize is there are many places to find great workers. Lots of different countries, lots of areas in the world where you can find really good outsourced workers that'll work hard and produce really good stuff for you and your business. But I want you to start, if possible, by hiring someone that's in the Philippines. The benefits are obvious to what I've mentioned before, and I'm going to restate them. Their entire education system is taught in English, so they speak, read, write pretty good English. That means they're capable of actually creating content for your business. As well as they're not really an entrepreneurial society, so to speak, where they're less entrepreneurial as compared to other nations, so they're more about just working hard and having a really good job. This is ideal for what you want working for your business. And of course, because of their economy and because of how the currency exchanges are and everything else, you can get work done there very, very inexpensively. They're also just really nice, great people. They just have such good hearts, and I've had just such positive experiences working with people in the Philippines. So I recommend that you start there first. Now, the one thing you need to know about working with people in the Philippines is the PHP. That's their currency, also known as the Philippine peso. Now, the currency exchange currently is about 45 to 1 Philippine pesos to 1 US dollar. So what that means is when you're looking in resumes, you're looking at postings, and you see people saying how much they'd like to be paid for salary, when they say they want about 22,000 PHP a month to work full time, that's about $500 US. So you need to do that calculation of 45 to 1. So obviously if it was $45,000 in salary they wanted per month, just to keep the math simple, that would be 1,000 US dollars. So you need to keep that in mind. Now, when you pay these people in the Philippines when they work for you, the best way to pay them is with PayPal. Most of them have PayPal accounts, so this isn't usually a problem. You can use MassPay, which is PayPal's feature. Basically, send payments to a bunch of people at once, and it'll only cost you $1 per payment that you send. And of course, you can use this if you only send to one person, so it doesn't have to be sent to 100 people at once. You know, the MassPay name seems like you're going to send to a bunch of people, which it can work for that, but you can also use it for, a singular transaction. And it only costs you $1 for each payment that you send, but the beauty is it doesn't cost the worker any money. They don't have to pay the 2 to 3% PayPal fee like they normally would if they were selling some types of goods or services, like something through eBay or an online store. So it's a great way to pay affiliates as well as outsource workers. So PayPal's MassPay feature is great. In PayPal, when you're logged in, you can go into the Send Money tab, and then you'll see there's an option for the MassPay feature. You'll upload a text file, which is basically some information about who the money is going to, and each little piece of information is it's comma delimited or tab delimited text file. You can look on PayPal's site, it'll tell you how to create that file, but it's basically the email address and then basically a tab and then the amount of money that you're sending and then a tab, and then you can put a number code or anything you want to track that, and then of course you can put an optional note that'll go along to the receiver with that payment. But all the instructions are on PayPal's site. It's pretty easy to do. So the next thing that you need to think about and go and do is go to Google and do a search for Philippines jobs. What you'll find is you'll find a bunch of job sites related to the Philippines. You'll find a bunch of resume databases. You'll find a bunch of job boards where you can post jobs. You'll find a ton of different websites online where people from the Philippines, I think there's 92 million people in the Philippines, so there's a lot of people there, and a lot of their economy is based on outsourced work. So there are millions of people essentially using these internet sites to get jobs and to find companies they can work for. So there are a lot of different sites for you to find people and find good workers, no matter if you need one worker or 500 workers. There's a lot of resources that you can use online, and we're going to go over some of those specifically in some specific lessons that I'm going to record for you. But there's a lot of different places you can find workers, and if you just do a Google search for Philippines jobs, it's going to open your eyes to how many different sites there are out there. Just a few that you'll find are jobstreet.com, ph.jobsisland.com, and jobcity.net. Most of these have job boards where you can post a job for people, or it has resume databases that you can search to find individual candidates based on certain criteria that you're looking for. Now, when you get into dealing with a lot of these job sites and resume sites, the one thing you're going to come to realize quickly is some of them are free and some of them are subscription fee. Like jobstreet.com, that one, JobStreet, requires a subscription fee, so you'll have to pay for that, while other ones are free. Now, there are benefits to some of the free ones, of course, and there are benefits and advantages, of course, to the paid ones. For example, you'll find a lot more candidates on a site like jobstreet.com. I think they have 2.2 million resumes of Filipinos right now in their system, I believe is what their data said, which is just a tremendous pool of talent there. So when you're hiring people to do things for your business, it's often beneficial for you to pay a few of these fees, $50 a month or $100 a month, even if you cancel it after 1 month, just to get access to find a bunch of great workers and to be able to contact them via email. Now you can find a lot of great workers though from the free sites too, and I'm going to go into some other sites, of course, again, like I did in the pre-launch series, like Craigslist and some of these other sites that you can use. But you have to realize that any of this stuff and hiring people to do work for your business and create money for you is simply an investment. So don't shy away from some of these sites if you at least want to have a trial membership or spend a little bit to broaden the pool of resumes that you'll have to look for. And again, it all depends on what kind of specialized worker you're looking for. If you're looking for a very specific like Flash programmer or Microsoft, one of their technologies like ASP or Silverlight or these other things, then you may need to pay a site like a jobstreet.com to be able to look at their resumes and to find people with that specific skill set. But you can find a lot of great people from the free sites too, and I wanted to make sure and clarify that as well. But these are the resources at your disposal for finding people in the Philippines in this example, and there are a ton of sites. All you got to do is do a few Google searches for Philippines jobs, Philippines resume search, things like that. Now, the other thing to always keep in mind is you can find great workers by hanging out on specialized discussion forums. I've mentioned this in the past. For example, if you want a Flash developer for a special Flash app, oftentimes you can find the best type of person if you go to where Flash developers hang out and talk. Go to discussion, type in Flash developer discussion forum in Google, and you'll find probably where those people hang out. And there's usually, help wanted or kind of wanted listings in forums like that where people are posting to find outsourced workers that will do projects for them based on that skill set for that community. So that's a great place to find people as well. Now, what you really need to know is that there are basically 2 methods for finding people. 2 methods. And here are the 2 methods. Method number 1, you can find someone's resume and then contact them directly. Now, throughout this second module, I'm going to give you tips on what email you should use to contact them, how to evaluate them, how to analyze their resume. We're going to get into all that throughout this module this week. But finding someone's resume and contacting them directly is method number 1. That's one way to find a lot of different great workers that can do work for your business. And of course, each method has its pros and cons. Now, method number 2 is to post a job listing and have the workers come to you. Have people contacting you saying, hey, I'm interested in this job listing that you posted. I have the skills that you mentioned, and I'm very interested in the job. So the benefit of a job listing is that depending on what you need for your business, and here's the key and the secret to being successful with these job listings, is to be as specific and as detailed as possible. You want to basically put all the criteria. You want to be really, really strict about what it is that you want that person to do, what you expect of that person, what the job entails, and really what someone needs to know to fit the criteria to basically meet the requirements for that job. Now, here's what you have to keep in mind with using either one of these methods. There are so many workers for you to choose from. Don't feel like the Philippines are, like somebody mentioned in our live webinar, they asked the question, well, isn't the Philippines going to run out of workers because now that you're teaching, several hundred people how to do this stuff? Look, there are millions of people, and there's constantly going to be turnover between jobs and projects and things like that. There's probably never going to be a shortage for the next 50 years of people that you can hire from the Philippines. But keeping all that in mind, you need to realize that because there are so many people, here it is, you can afford to be very, very picky. That's right, you're calling the shot. It's your money that you're paying to have someone work for you, so you can afford to be very, very picky. And in doing so, I need you to be a little bit patient when you're looking to hire people. You need to go through the whole evaluation and interviewing process that I'm going to teach you how to do. It's just a basically paint by numbers, step-by-step process that you'll just do that I tell you to do. But you need to take your time. Don't look at someone's resume and say, oh, this guy's perfect for me. I'm ready to hire him full-time. I'm sure they'll do great. Take your time, evaluate people, and make sure you're going to make the right decision. Even though if you make a bad hire and you get someone to start working for you and they don't work out, you can let them go. It's very easy to do when you're hiring them as an independent contractor, which is how this is all going to work. but it can save you a lot of time and make you a lot more money if you're a little bit patient. So in using either one of these methods, just know that there's so many people to pick from, and of course you can be very, very picky to find someone that's really, really great.